Hi, I'm Bill Thatcher, and I'm going to share with you today some exercises that I do for my hands to keep them healthy, strong, and flexible so that I can play the lute. You should know that I am not a physical therapist or any kind of a medical professional. I'm just a lute player who, a few years back, suffered a pretty severe overuse injury. And since my recovery, I've been doing these exercises, among other things, and they have helped me to prevent another injury. So I hope you find them helpful. So let's get started. I'm going to stand. You can stand or sit, but if you sit, I just ask you to make sure you have enough room so that you can move your hands and arms. Okay, let's start by relaxing our neck and our shoulders, letting our arms hang down, feeling the weight of our hands at the bottom of our wrists, and then just start shaking our wrists and relaxing and shaking, and let the tension just spill out of those arms, and let your hands flap in the breeze. All right. Okay, so now to begin our warm-ups, we're going to do hand extensions. So have your forearm out, your elbow bent at your side, and we're just going to bring our hands out into an extended position and then just relax them. Relax your hands, extend, relax. So you're just going to hold them out for a beat and then bring them back. All of these warm-up exercises, you should do around 15 repetitions. Okay, and then relax, and then come back, similar position, but give yourself a nice little soft fist, and we're going to do fist verticals. We're going to just bring your fists up. We're going to just bend at the wrist. So this is what it looks like. All right, now another wrist exercise. Again, soft fists facing each other. We're going to do some circles. So from the inside out, keeping your elbows at your side. One hand is doing a clockwise circle, and the other hand is doing a counterclockwise circle. So again, just do about 15 of these. Okay. Now, palms facing up, and we're actually going to start with your hands closed. We're going to do finger extensions. So now one finger at a time, starting with your index finger, extend, 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 and then close. So this corresponds to our finger tendons, extensor, flexor, extensor, flexor. Okay, now we're going to combine the last two exercises, starting with our hands extended, and we're going to start with our pinkies. We're going to come in one finger at a time And as we come in, we're going to turn our wrists and then float them out and extend them that way. So start with the pinky. This is a little more complex, a little more elegant, a little more exotic maybe. Kind of reminds me of Balinese dance. Notice my elbows are coming out because I'm really turning my whole arm. There's a lot going on here in this one. And again, if you're counting, stop at 15. Okay, last warm-up exercise. We're going to extend our thumbs. So starting, again, palms up, thumbs extend out, and then up and over. Try and get to your pinky and then sweep them back. Okay, that concludes our warm-ups. So let's shake our wrists again, see how that feels. You might feel a little different. And if not, there's more to come, because from here we're going to go into massage. So let's start by massaging our palms. So just pick one. You're going to use your thumb as your massage tool and your fingers as the backdrop or the backstop, and we're going to just take a little tour of your palm and do a nice little thumb massage of all your palm. Make sure you get this big meaty ball of tissue at the bottom of the base of your thumb. And all around that thumb. And now we're going to switch hands. You can do all of these massage exercises, you can do as long as you feel you need to. There's no real time limit. It's also something that you might want to do when you're sitting watching your favorite TV show on the couch. Okay, so after the palms, we're going to do our upper forearms on the inside of our forearms and up in this area near our elbow. And you can use either your thumb or your fingers and see if you can find some little spots in here known as trigger points, where the tissue feels a little bit tender, and it's probably because you've got a little bit of fascia that's stuck between two layers of muscle. And that can cause you some pain, and it can also cause you some restriction when it comes to the tendons, the flexor tendons that run down this part of your arm into your fingers. So then switch arms, go to the other arm. And again, you can use your thumb if you want, or your fingers, whatever works for you. Okay, now we're going to do both top and bottom. If you put your forearm up like this, and your fingers are on top and your thumb is on the bottom, we're going to start down by the wrist. I call this the alligator massage. It's like the jaws of an alligator just chomping on this big old sub sandwich. Up and down a couple of times. And then try it on the other hand. See how when I'm doing this, my fingers are involuntarily moving, and that's because of those tendons and muscles that go all the way up toward your elbow from your fingers. Okay, now we're going to massage the top part of our forearms, or the outside, and here you'll find there may be some other trigger points. Those little tender spots. We basically want to get the kinks out. And you can spend as little or as much time as you want, as long as you keep moving and keep looking for those little spots. Let's do the other arm. I'm moving along here pretty quickly. Normally I would probably spend more time on this, but this is really just to show you these exercises. Okay, so that's the outer arm. Now let's go to the wrist. And here again, you're going to use mainly your thumb, and your fingers are the backstop. Just go all around your wrist and feel those little bony spots, those little carpal tunnel bones, and get right in there. You might even hear a few little cracks. Not sure my mic will pick that up, but all right, so those are the massage exercises. Yeah. Feeling good. Okay, now we're going to do some stretches. So on this, I want to ask you to be careful because these are stretches that we're going to hold, and you're going to want to get into the stretch until it feels like a nice gentle stretch. But all these exercises are meant to be gentle and gradual. So don't hurt yourself. Okay, so first off, we're going to go to stretch this part of our arm. Now that it's been massaged and warmed up, the circulation is going, we want to see if we can get these muscles to stretch. So we're going to put our hand up like this, like we're a traffic cop, straight out. Our elbow is locked, and we're going to bring the other hand over here, and we're going to just pull it back just until we feel this nice gentle stretch on this underside of our arm. Bring it back. You may not, if you're tight, if your muscles are tight right now, you may not even get to 90 degrees, and that's okay. Just go for the stretch. It's more important that you stretch your muscles than it is that you get to some specific position. Okay? Now all of these stretches we're going to hold for about 30 seconds. And like I said earlier, I can't count and talk at the same time, so I'm going to just leave that up to you when you do these. Okay, now when we come out of this, we're going to very slowly and gently release the pressure and let the hand come down. And switch arms. So now we'll go to the other arm. Bring it back, nice gentle stretch. And then very slowly let it go. Okay, same muscle area, but this time we're going to turn our palms up and then back, and then we're going to bring the hand back this way. for 30 seconds. And then very slowly, when you're done with your 30 seconds, very slowly just ease on out of it and switch hands. Okay, come on out of that. All right, so that's to stretch this under portion of our forearm. Now we're going to take the outer portion, the top portion, and we're going to start with our palm down, and we're going to go this way. And then holding the hand and bringing that back, you should feel a nice stretch even in your hand and across your wrist and up, right up your elbow. This is a little more subtle than the other one, probably because the muscles are smaller. I'm not sure. And then slowly ease your way out. Go to the other arm. And then after 30 seconds, just ease on out. Okay, the next one is, this is, pretend you're riding a horse and you're holding the reins of the horse. And so your hands are extended out, loose fist, straight arms, elbows are locked. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these fists and we're going to turn them out and down toward the corners. So if you're in a room, you're going to the corner on the floor and the opposite wall. I love this stretch. Sometimes I feel the stretch all the way into my fingers and right on up to my elbow. Really nice stretch. Okay, and then again, like everything else, you want to just slowly come out of it and then relax. Okay, now we're going to interlock our fingers and we're going to extend out in front of us. Now, if you can, lock your elbows. That would be good. If you can't, don't worry about it. I think you can feel where the stretch is here. Try to bring your shoulders back. Bring your shoulders back. Feel this in the upper back, shoulder blades down. Straighten those arms. And then again, coming out of it, we want to come out the way we came in. So you start by bending your elbows, easing up on those fingers, and then down. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is, remember in the beginning of our warm-ups we did hand extensions. So we're going to do that hand extension again, except this time we're going to hold it. We're going to hold that extension. So with our palms facing down, we're going to stretch our hands to make them as big as we possibly can. I remember hearing or reading somewhere back during the last Summer Olympics, whenever that was, that Michael Phelps could completely cover the area of or the edges, I should say, of a dinner plate with his hands because he had such big hands. So I can't claim to do the same thing, but that's what we're going for here. Again, after 30 seconds, very slowly start to relax your fingers and let them come down. Ah, it felt good. Now, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to have our palms facing up. So starting with the palms facing up, nice and relaxed, just slowly extend and see if you can cover those dinner plates. Another thing to do while you're here is you may be looking, if you're looking in a mirror, your hands may be like this. What we really want to do is make them flat. And if possible, can you get your hands turned so that your thumbs are a little bit lower than your pinky. And we're not just moving the thumb, we're moving the wrist and the forearm and everything. There we go. Okay, so again, after 30 seconds, start to relax and just let the hands come back to a resting position just by relaxing and releasing the muscles. Okay, let's do one last wrist shake to end our routine. Now, as a little bonus, especially for you lute players, I'm going to share with you a couple of exercises that I learned from my teacher, the late Pat O'Brien. And these have to do with techniques that are specific to the lute, specifically the plucking hand, for most of us the right hand. And these are not massages or stretches per se. It's more like a way to focus on relaxation, because there are two areas where relaxation is important in the right hand lute technique. One is relaxing our tip joints. So our tip joints should not be flexed. Unlike a keyboard player, our tip joints need to be basically relaxed at all times. So an exercise to help us think about that is to let your palm face up, and with all four fingers, start to bend them at the knuckles first, and then when they won't go any farther, then bend them at the middle joint, but not the tip joint. And let them come right into your palm, deep into your palm, and these tip joints are just nice and flat and nice and relaxed. And bring it out, bend in, just press it right in there. Out. We're not flexing the tip joints. Now, another way to do this too is one finger at a time. So let's bring the index in and do not flex that tip joint. And then the ring finger, and that's enough of that. Now, the other thing to do to test to make sure your tip joint is nice and flexible is when you get to about here, bring your other finger over and see if you can make it flap in the breeze. Right? And then do it again with the middle finger. Do it again with this finger. And again, this is something you can do on the couch while you're watching Netflix. Okay, the second exercise has to do with another principle, and that is the principle of quick release. So you may have heard from your lute teachers that, when you pluck the string, you want to just immediately relax your hand. The idea here is not to use these extensor tendons to make your hand go back. You just want the finger to just completely relax and go back. So to help us relax these fingers, and especially on the return trip after you've plucked the string, hold your palm flat, take your middle finger of the other hand and just knock it up. And see if you can just let it just come back I'm not that good at this, quite frankly. This is something I need to practice more. And then try it on the next finger. And then on the ring finger. And that is my exercises that I do. And so I hope that you've enjoyed it and that you make use of this video and that you just make it your own and enjoy it, and especially enjoy playing your lutes. Take care.